absolute pleasure having you with me today.
Good to see you, Jonathan.
Tell me what it is about serving your clients and really meeting their wealth management needs and doing it well that's so important to you.
Well, you know, that's an interesting thing you should ask me, because it all goes back to when I was probably about 14 years old on a ride with my mom and dad in the car. And my mother looked around the back seat and she said, "Walter, did you know that all the men in the Burns family died destitute?" And I said, "No, Mom, I had no idea." And so she went on to tell me the story. And it turns out that my great-great-grandfather, Otway Burns, was a very famous privateer in the War of 1812. He was a very successful businessman. In fact, at his peak, he was worth over $200 million. And he died absolutely destitute, broke. But then came his son, Captain Owen Burns, during the Civil War, and he was a blockade runner and was captured by the Yankees. He was successful as well, but he lost everything, was imprisoned outside of Washington, D.C., and when he died, there was nothing left. Everything was gone with the wind in the South. And then my grandfather, Walter Burns Sr., he was a great businessman. He did a lot of wonderful things, but a big risk taker. And during World War I, toward the latter part of his life, he took all of his money and put it into barbed wire. And unfortunately, he had that leverage to the hilt. And the bottom line is that when he took constructive receipt, he lost all of it because the war ended and the barbed wire was worth nothing. And then little did I know, I was riding with my mom and dad in the car, and my dad would follow suit and die broke, and it would be my honor, really my privilege, to take care of my mama for the last 12 years of her life. And so in any event, I made up my mind early on that I was not going to let this happen to me, and I was going to end the Burns family curse. And so I've studied the financial markets all of my life. And the interesting thing, this was my own self-interest, and yet I found that this was a passion for me to help other people, and remains so today. And so I guess that's kind of my story of why I'm so passionate about wealth management.
That's quite a story. Now, when you think about your clients, you've worked with a lot of people for decades. What are the major benefits they've received working with you and your team?
Jonathan, I think the major benefit is that peace of mind. And I've asked them on numerous occasions, what is it? They say, "Walter, we don't worry anymore when we work with you." And I wondered why, and I think it comes down to the processes that we have. We do a discovery meeting with people and try to learn what's important to them, what really matters. And then that's followed by an investment plan meeting, and we meet with our experts and so forth, and go through this entire long process. And the end result, it's a 5-meeting process, and the end result of it is that people end up not worried about losing their money anymore.
What do you value the most about your client relationships?
Oh, wow. The thing I value the most, Jonathan, is making a difference in their life. And those who have worked with us over the years, who continued to work with us, I've never had one that wasn't successful. There have been some people who did not follow through and do what they said they were going to do, and some of them weren't so successful and went on their own merry way. But we're very proud of our track record.
Now, what are you most passionate about when you're not working?
Well, I love to sail. I love to boat. I've got a 34-foot mainship. It's a great boat. We'll take the boat out and go on fuddy-duddy cruises, maybe go down the Intracoastal Waterway and have some wine and cheese and just have a good time.
Nice. What advice would you give advisors coming up the ladder in the industry that aspire to be at your level about what they really need to do to deliver a great client experience?
Wow, that's a great question. I would say, first of all, be a leader, not a facilitator. Don't be a salesman, but stand for what you know to be true. Stick to your guns and play the odds in the favor of the client. Of course, the most important thing is to look out for your clients.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure talking to you.